And then there's Trump's broad claim in an interview with the Washington Post that he has, quote, given millions of dollars away. David Fahrenthold of the Washington Post, that's the same reporter who basically successfully shamed Donald Trump into making good on a promise to give $1 million to veterans groups, has now tried to find out which organizations Donald Trump might have personally given money to. The question Fahrenthold posed: before his $1 million gift to vets in May, when was the last time Donald Trump gave $1 of his own money to charity? Fahrenthold talked to 102 possible outlets that seemed the most likely recipients of private gifts. And joining me now, David Fahrenthold, political reporter for the Washington Post. All right, David, you could not, just to set this up, you went, I imagine, the Trump campaign first and said, hey, will you guys let me know where your charitable contributions have gone to, right?
That's right. Trump obviously has a charitable foundation, but he hasn't given that foundation any of his own money since 2008. Yet he always says, I give dollars to charity.
Wait a second, stop right there. He has a foundation, which if you're sitting down at the end of the year, you're saying, well, where should I give my money? You would think the number one choice would be your own foundation. He hasn't given his own foundation since 2008 any money.
As far as we can tell, yes.
Okay, so he hasn't given that foundation money. They won't tell you where his charitable money flows to, correct?
That's right. Gifts outside the foundation, they say he gives them, but there's no way for us to know where he gives or how much.
And obviously he won't release his tax returns, in which they would be itemized, presumably. So you started to do what? How did you try to track this down?
Well, so I made a list of all the charities I could think of that had some kind of connection to Trump. The charities that he's given to from his foundation in the past, the foundation largely filled with other people's money now, charities he's written about, that he mentions in his corporate biography. Sort of if Donald Trump was going to give any of his personal money to any charity, who would it be? And so now my list is up to 128 charities. I've called them all to try to figure out, hey, have you ever gotten a personal donation from Donald Trump?
And what is the answer?
The only donation that I can find between 2008, when he last gave his money to his foundation, and this May, when he gave that $1 million donation to veterans, I can find one charitable donation from Donald Trump in that period. And I'm not even sure that was true. There's a $5,000 to $10,000 donation from 2009. It may be a bookkeeping error. It may be real. That's the only one that I found from that long period.
Wait, to what charity was this to?
The Police Athletic League of New York City.
Yeah. And why do you think it might be a bookkeeping error?
Well, Trump's foundation also gave to the PAL in that year, and if you look at other years, they miscount foundation gifts as personal gifts from Trump, and so that this may be also a case of that.
So I just want to be clear. This individual claims he's worth $10 billion. He claims that he's given millions of dollars, if I'm not mistaken, to charity. He has a foundation that he's given no personal money to. You've now called 128 organizations and charities, and there's only one donation from this man who's worth $10 billion, so he says, that you can account for in the amount of $5,000 a few years ago that might have been a bookkeeping error.
That's right. And so you've seen Trump he's made all these promises to give the proceeds of this or that to charity over the years. But if you look at his foundation, you can obviously see that he hasn't given that money through the foundation. So his out has always been, well, I give privately. I give off the books. That's what I'm looking for, and I haven't found it so far.
Right. And this is key because, you know, there's actually some legal exposure here. When you have a business and you say from this business the proceeds of this or some proceeds will be donated to charity, that's not just an informal pledge. There might be legal obligations actually carried through on that, or you violated the law.
That's possible. I mean, it's sometimes they look for very strict language. Trump often, if you look at his promises now, when he says, I'm going to give to charity, like the one that you played, it's never, I'm going to give this amount to this charity or to this cause. It's just to charity. And that makes it really hard to go back and check to see what did he give and did he live up to his promises.
All right, David.